Hi YouTube, and welcome to another video. Thank you for joining me today. Today we will get to the word of the Lord, and then we will get to what I came to show you today. So the word of the Lord today is coming from Psalms, the 23rd chapter. And it says, "The Lord is my shepherd. I have all that I need. He lets me rest in meadows. He leads me beside peaceful stream. He renews my strength. He guides me along right paths, bringing honor to his name. Even when I walk through the valley, the darkest valley, I will not be afraid. For you are close beside me. Your rod and your staff protect me and comfort me. You prepare a feast for me in the presence of my enemies. You honor me by anointing my head with oil. My cup runneth over, and it overflows with blessings. Surely your goodness and unfailing love will pursue me all the days of my life, and I will live in the house of the Lord forever." Thank you for joining me for the word of the Lord. Today, we are going to be making some of these, and this was made on the small Addi knitting machine. So I got a whole table full of them over there. Let's see if you can see that. Let's see. I got a whole table of them. Let's see, I got to pick up my little tripod. Hopefully I'm not making nobody sick. Let me just do it this way. I have this one. And this part is crocheted, and I'll show you how to do that as well. I got this blue one. I got a gray one. And all of these were Dollar Tree yarns that I found in a bag behind my sofa, and I just wanted to get rid of them. So I just turned them into these little, right now they're octopi. And then I have this one, and that's a different blue. These are two different blues. So I have this one. And then I have a different brown. I have this brown one. And then I have, this is that yarn that I frogged from Hobby Lobby that I pulled. It was the 4-ply that I got. That Cinnamon Stitches showed us how to pull it apart. So that is this yarn right here. And then I also have this mint color one from Dollar Tree. And then I have this one. Now this yellow gave me fits. And I had 2 balls of it, and it gave me fits on both balls. So I made one anyway. I'll probably put that in the clearance bin or something. And then I had this one as well, but I must have did something else with this purple yarn or lavender yarn, because I didn't have enough to go all the way around. And then also here, I didn't have enough. So I just put a different color. So we have that. And today I just only have like one more small ball of it. Oh, let me see. I have these two right here too. I have this orange ball that I made, but it doesn't have the bottom part yet, and this green ball that I made, but neither one of those have the orange part. So there. I have, where did my orange go? It must have fell somewhere. It's over here somewhere. But I still have the green and the orange to crochet to the bottom. So we're going to get started with this little white piece right here. So we're going to cast this little white piece on. So I'm just going to throw it on the floor. Oh, here's my orange to crochet with that orange ball over there. So we're just going to cast on, and we cast on by going to our first black needle, and we put the yarn behind the first black needle. In front of the first black needle, behind the next one, in front, behind, in front. We just kind of weave in and out, in front, behind, in front, behind, front, behind, in front, behind. And we go all the way around. until we get back to the first white needle. And then we will put it in the little, well, the door is open, so I didn't want to turn the fan on because it gets too loud, but the door is open. So then we're going to put the yarn in the little yarn keeper and close it. Because if you don't close it, you can break a needle. So usually the first round is the round that is the hardest to get around. So we're just going to take our time and go around, and we're going to reset our stitch counter to 0. And this is the Addi, small Addi 22 needle. So I'm just going to go around, and once I get through this first row, it should crank easier. So it's cranking a little bit easier now, so I'll just go until I get to 60 to 61 rows. So when I don't have enough of one color, I might do 30 and 30 or something like that. So now it's cranking a lot better. Hopefully you can see that. It's cranking a lot better. So I'm just going to crank it around until I get to my 60 rows. And I've been doing some crocheting, and then I've also made some tentacles that I haven't put on there yet. I just kind of like let the ball flow freely. I noticed that when it's not tight and when it flows freely, it's easier. It won't get all caught up and tight. But if you just kind of like, even with these little balls from the Dollar Tree, I don't even center pull them. Everything else I try to center pull, but not the Dollar Tree yarn. I don't even try to center pull that because it's so tangled. I don't really like it because it's like it just twists and turns so badly. So I'm just going to continue to do this until I get to 60 rows. And when I get to 60 rows, I'll come back and show you what to do next. Okay, so we are at 56 rows, 57, 58, 59, and usually I go to 60, and then I'll let it count to 60, and then I will stop it at 60. So I do not see my scissors, but since this yarn breaks really, really easy, I'm going to break off this yarn and leave a little bit of a tail, probably about maybe 12 to 15 inches. It breaks so easy, so I just broke it off. And then I'm going to take my Addi needle, and then I'm going to thread the needle, and I'm going to pick up all of these stitches one by one. I'm going to kind of like let it go and unthread a little bit, untangle. Sometimes when I thread the needle, I'll put it up high enough so if I drop the needle down to let it unwind, it will not drop my needle off. So this is the needle that came with the Addi machine. So what I'm going to do is take it out of the yarn keeper, and I'm going to, this is the white needle, and I am going to knit that needle. The first black needle is right here. I'm going to hold my hand, I'm going to hold my finger over this needle right here, and then I'm going to pick up this first black needle. I'm going to put my needle underneath there and pick it up while I am holding this one because I don't want to drop this one off. And this needle is bent. I don't know if you could tell that, and it makes it easier to scoop off and under there. So that needle's not knit all the way, so I'm going to go a little bit. And I'm going to take my time doing this because you drop a stitch with this fuzzy yarn, good luck picking it back up. I probably would just have to start all over again. So I'm going to drop a couple of more stitches, and I'm going to put my finger on every one. Let me see. So I'm just going underneath it between the two. There are some prongs under there. I'm going underneath there, and I'm scooping it up, and I'm picking it up. Then I'm going to go to the next one, scoop it up, and pick it up. Let's see if I can move the camera a little bit so you can get a better shot of what I'm doing. Let me see if I can drop it a little bit. So I picked up this one right here, so it's going to fall off. So I'm going to turn my handle just a little bit, and then I am going to pick up the next one. And I'm just going to scoop it up, but put my finger on the other one so that it will not fall off, because I do not want to try to put stitches back on. I've done it before, but not with this kind of yarn. And this yarn is, let's see what, oh, right here. This yarn is this Just Chenille yarn from the Dollar Tree, which I tried to crochet with it, but I was not successful. So I'm going to scoop up this one, turn it one, going to scoop up this one, turn it one, scoop up. So I'm scooping them up very slowly because I do not want to have to drop a stitch and try to pick it back up, because that will not, that's just not going to work for me. So we're just picking them up one by one, and we're just sticking our needle between the two prongs and taking off the yarn between the two prongs with the bent part of the needle. I hope you could see that. But that's what I'm telling you. Just in case you can't see, I'm telling you what I'm doing. I'm picking up between those two prongs. All of the yarn is on these little prongs, and I'm taking them. I put the needle right between the prongs where the yarn is on like a loop, and then I just pick it up, making sure that I don't let the one next to it drop off, because then that's when you will end up having to pick up stitches, and I ain't got time for that. So we're picking up all of our stitches, and we're trying not to split any stitches or anything like that, because that could be a problem as well if you split the stitches. So there we go. I got one more after this one. One more. So now that I picked up all of the stitches, this is what I get. This is what I have now. I have this piece of fabric, and that was, by the time you pick them all off, it came to 60 rows for me, 61 rows for me, but usually it's about 60. So you can stretch it, pull it, stretch it a little bit, and pull it. And then I'm going to take a seat and show you what to do next. Let me fix the camera. Okay, we're back. We have our stretch piece of fabric or yarn or whatever you want to call it. So we have this, and now what we're going to do, we're going to cinch it together like it's a hat. But you want to be very careful because this yarn breaks super easy. So you just want to try to cinch it together, and you're going to just cinch it together like a hat. Just taking your time, taking your time, taking your time. Because you do not want to break this thread. So I just kind of cinch that together like a hat. And then I'm going to do the same on this side over here. Now this side is already, from when I was pulling it through, it's already kind of like a little bit, but I'll get more once I start cinching this together. It will get longer. So, but we still want to cinch this part together really, really gently, because we do not want to break it. So you're just going to cinch it together. See how it's just cinched together? And then now you have more of the yarn. So I'm just going to, I don't know what happened to my scissors. Oh, here goes some hair right here. So I'm just going to kind of cut that little piece off where the string is. I cut that little piece off. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of put a couple of stitches right here. Put a couple of stitches right here. Then I'm just going to, and I am not pulling it tightly because I do not want this to break. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to, the needle is on here, so I'm going to put this on the inside. Push it all the way to the other side. All the way to the other side. So here's my needle. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it, and in the center right here, I'm just going to put my needle right there in the center and bring it out the center of the other side. So here's the center of the other side. Now I have both of my yarn tails on this side. And with both my yarn tails on this side, I'm going to pull just a little bit, gentle, because you don't want to break it. If you break it, whew, you might have to start all over, because, or you have to get another piece of string and try to put them together. So they are together right there. Now you have essentially one piece of yarn. So you have these two strings. So what we're going to do, what you can do is you can feed them both through here and put them back through the other side, or you can just turn it back inside out. What I normally do is I just feed them back through the middle. Got one on there, then I'll try to get this one on there. Okay, so I got both of them on my needle, and now I'm just gonna poke them back, and then I'm gonna leave these on the inside. But I just want to make sure that I get this kind of like in the middle. This one's like not in the middle, but you can just kind of eyeball it and see where your middle is. So now we got it in the middle. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my scissors and I'm just going to cut this off. These are my two pieces. And then I am going to tie a knot. Tie a knot and just tie a knot. Leave these pieces on the inside. And what I forgot to tell you that you would need for this project, you would need a tapestry needle, scissors, and a crochet hook, and some polyfill. And I just usually take polyfill out my back cabinet in the back and just keep some in the living room for whenever I'm working on plushies in here. So I'm going to take this now and I'm going to start stuffing my little cavity, my little body. And I'm going to stuff it as much as I want or as little as I want. It's up to me. But I'm going to get it full. I usually peel mine apart a little bit. So I'm going to stuff it. Stuff it, stuff it, stuff it. Some videos I've seen where they made another piece and sewed it on there, but I didn't like that and I didn't want to do that. So I didn't do that. So this is the way I'm going to do it. And then I'm going to get a little bit more stuffing. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, I want that. I'm going to try to take this and I'm going to put this back on my needle. And I'm hoping this is going to be enough. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this needle and this piece of string that I cut. And if I didn't feel like that was enough, or if it broke, then I would just use from this part right here. So, but I'm going to take it and I'm going to So where I'm going to be sewing at now, which I still want to be careful because this thread could break, is I'm going to be sewing around the perimeter right here. So I'm just going to take it and I'm going to pick up about 2 stitches. I'm going to leave a little bit on the outside. I'm going to leave maybe about that much on the outside. And then I'm going to like go over. So like I have 2 stitches right here. I'm going to skip a stitch and then just pick up 2 more stitches. It doesn't have to be exact. Just go in and out, weave in and out. Just pick up 2, skip over 2, pick up 2, kind of like that. See what I'm doing? Pick up 2, left 1, pick up 2. And then I'm going to cinch it together at the end. So I don't want to cinch it right now because I don't want to break my thread because I have to do it gently. And then, okay, I'm off. Okay, so then I'm going to pick up, put down, pick up. I'm just kind of going to go around. It's not perfect. It's not rocket science. I'm just doing it. I never was good at this whole picking up stitches on the Addi thing, so I just do it willy-nilly, and it's worked out. You see all those over there that I done, and I didn't oh, see, I lost my thread, so now I got to thread my needle again because I lost my thread. It didn't break, I just kind of lost it. So then I'm going to just pick up a couple, skip over a couple, pick up a couple, skip over, and then I'm going to pull gently. I'm almost back around. I'm going to do it some more. Pick up, put down, pick up, over, under a little bit, just like when I was, see, I'm going to show you, even if you're not seeing when I'm doing it. So then you just gently though. So you want to get back to where you left this string at. So I'm almost back around. So let's see. Pick up a couple, put down a couple, pick up a couple, put down a couple, pick up a couple, put down a couple. See how it's not even, not anything, but it all works out in the end. Then I'm going to take this and I might go just a little bit past where I left off at, just a little bit. So now here's my first string I started with and my second string. So now I still got 2 strings. I got some polyfill puffing up, but that's okay. I'm going to smash my little polyfill back down in there, and I am going to kind of start pulling gently. That is the magic key. Gently. Pull both of the strings gently. If one don't want to go, just pull the other gently. And see how it's cinching up? You want to pull gently until we get it closed. Gently. See how we got it's closing up? Gently. And if it does that, just don't worry about it. Just do not pull. Don't pull tightly. If you using other kind of yarn, you can pull a little bit tighter, but when you're using this little cheap Dollar Tree yarn, do not pull tightly. So now I got a little hole, so what I'm going to do is I am going to thread this and close up my hole gently. This is a gentle project because this yarn is like not friendly. So, okay. So one is longer than the other, but that's okay because they both are long enough. And then, so then I'll just kind of go back and forth where my little hole is, and I'm just going to start closing it up. I'm probably going to have to cut the long ones so they can be even, so it will flow better. But whatever you do, just do it gently. I'm going to rethread my needles. Okay. And then I'm just going to go back to closing up my hole. See, I'm closing up my hole. Just going wherever there's an opening, pulling, but I'm pulling gently. I am not pulling tightly. And I am just going to pull. See, now my hole is closed. So then I'm going to take my strings and I'm going to tie a knot gently. Tie a knot gently. And then I'm going to rethread them. I'm going to rethread them. Rethread. And if they don't want to thread together, you could always thread them separately. So I'm going to thread them together. They're long enough. And then I am going to just stick them in there and pull it out. See, my hole is totally closed. And now my plushie is, this part of it is complete. So then I'm going to cut that little part off. Now I just have to shape my little plushie. Okay, so this is the beginning of an octopi or jellyfish, whichever one you want to make it. It's up to you. So I'm hoping this is enough to finish. I don't know if it is or not, but we're gonna start with it and see what we can work with. So now this is what you have. And this Dollar Tree chenille, yes, it does shed. So, okay, so our next step, we're going to take our crochet hook, and you're going to determine which side you want to crochet on. So it doesn't matter which side. Just shape it the way you want to shape it, and then decide which side you're going to crochet on. So I'm going to take this side right here. I'm going to get my leftover piece of yarn. And then I'm just going to decide. I'm going to just pick a spot and put my crochet hook in there. And then I'm going to pull this yarn through. Well, let me see. I don't want to do it that way. I want to leave a little tail so I can. So I'm going to pull this yarn through. And then I am going to do a single crochet. And kind of tighten it up. So now what I want to do, now that I got my single crochet, I'm going to do the same thing I was doing earlier. I'm just going to try to go around and stay in a line. I'm going to pick up some stitches and I'm going to make a single crochet line all the way around. I'm going to pick up 2, skip 2. Skip 2 or skip 1, it don't matter. Just skip some. Just continue to crochet around and try to stay in line. So I don't know if you can see that, but there's some single crochets that you're going to go back in to make your little frill. So crochet, single crochet, pick up some stitches, single crochet. Just try to stay in the line. Sometimes I do stay in the line and sometimes I don't stay in the line. But it seems to not have mattered. Okay, that's 3. So I'm going to pick up 2, pull it through, and then do a single crochet. Go through, pick up 2, and if it doesn't want to go through, I just keep putting it back until I get through, because sometimes it doesn't want to go through, because remember, you're doing 2 layers of this, and sometimes it goes all the way through to the stuffing and you have to like work with it. So then I'm going to pick up 2, and then I'm going to single crochet. I think you can see where it's going to be a ridge. Then I'm going to single crochet, I'm going to pick up 2, and then I'm going to single crochet. I'm going to pick up 2, and then I am going to single crochet. And I'm going to go all the way around. I'm going to try to stay in my line, but sometimes my line, it gets off. It looks like this one may be straight in the line, but even if it's not, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to pick up my 2, and I'm going to single crochet. That's what I'm doing. I'm going to pick up my 2, and I am going to single crochet. And now I'm right here. So then I'm going to try to pick up maybe 2 more right here. And then I'm going to do a single crochet. So now what I'm going to do, see, now I have like a little ridge around of single crochets. That's what that ridge is right there. It's single crochets. So then what I'm going to do is I am going to slip stitch into a single crochet over here on this side. Slip stitch. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do, now what I did on some of them I did a double crochet, a double crochet, a treble crochet, and then 2 more double crochets. Slip stitch into the next one, and then repeated that all the way around. Some of them I did a double crochet, 2 treble crochets, and 2 double crochets. It would just depend on how much of this I have left over. So since I don't have a lot of this left over, I think I may just try to do 3 to 4 double crochets and then slip stitch around, but I did make a small one, so that should work out. So I'm just going to yarn over, go into one, do a double crochet, do a double crochet, a double crochet, a double crochet, another double crochet, and maybe 1 more double crochet. So 5 double crochets in each one is what I'm going to do. Then I'm going to, I'm sorry, I'm off camera. And then I'm just going to slip stitch into the next one next to it. Just do a slip stitch, and if I can't get it through, I just pick up my yarn and slip it over like that. Then I kind of pull tight. Then I yarn over, stick my hook into it, double crochet, double crochet. So I'll do 5 double crochets. I don't have a lot of this white. I don't know. Maybe I think I used it for a bee wing before. So I'm doing 5 double crochets in each one. When I have a lot of yarn, I would do double crochet, 2 treble crochets, and 2 more double crochets, or double crochet, treble crochet, and then 2 more double crochets. So it just depends on how much yarn I have left. I don't have a lot to work with this one, so I'm only doing 5 double crochets. So then I'm just going to slip stitch into the next one. And even if I gotta just put my little yarn over, if my slip stitch don't work, then I pull tight down, yarn over, and go into the next one and do 5 more double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So then I'm going to slip stitch into the next one. Pull my yarn tight down. That's all I got left, so we should make it though. And then I'm just going to double crochet into the next. Double crochet. Come on, come on. Okay, we're just going to do that. This yarn is slippery, but you just want to be nice to it so it can be nice to you. All right, so we're just going to double crochet, double crochet, and the double crochet is yarn over, stick your hook in, pull it up, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So we do that 5 times. That's 4, and that is 5. And then we are going to slip stitch into the next one. Yarn over, stick your hook in, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2, yarn over, put your hook back in the same one, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, slip stitch. And a slip stitch is just when you just stick your yarn in, pull it up, and then pull the top one through the bottom one. And if it doesn't go, I just use my finger sometimes. And then this is the last one, and yeah, we should have enough yarn. And then we are going to do 5 double crochets in this last one. And we're back at our starting point. Back at the starting point. And that is our 5 double crochets. And then we're going to chain 1, and then we are going to cut our yarn off. Now this one, I don't have a lot of the little tentacles. I mean, I don't have a lot of the little plushy feet, but that's okay. Here's my starting yarn. Here's my ending yarn. So what I will do is I will tie them together gently. Remember, this is a gentle project. So I will tie those together gently. And then I will take my yarn needle, and then I am going to stick it in the plushie and pull it out somewhere else so that it will go in there. That was a short piece, so it went right in there. Didn't even come out the other side, but this is a longer one, the one we ended with. The other one was the one that we started with when we slip stitched. So here's the last one, and I am going to stick that in there, pull it through, and you see how that one came through. I can stick it back through that same one, pull it out, pull through, cut it off, and I got my little octopi. Now sometimes I get a bunch of feet, and sometimes I get short feet, just depending on how much yarn I have left over. So here is my octopi, and how many feet did I get this time? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I only got 6. Sometimes I get 7, sometimes I get 8, sometimes I get 9, just depending on how far up I go. Sometimes I'll go up a little bit higher. Sometimes like I might start my crochet row here, and sometimes I start my crochet row lower. Usually I'll start lower if I don't have that much yarn, but there we go. We have a little octopi. Now, if we want to put some tentacles on our little octopi, we can still do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so, oh, I didn't show you how to crochet the tentacles. Okay, so this is how you would crochet the tentacles. This is what the tentacles will look like. Let me show you how to crochet them. Okay, so you're going to take your yarn, whatever yarn you have left, and when you're doing these octopi, if you have a full skein, you can get a full octopi and the tentacles out of it. Some of these skeins were already used. So you're going to do a slip knot, and you're going to chain 25. I'm not going to chain 25 because I have all my tentacles already done. So I'm only going to chain maybe 10. So let's just chain, but you would chain 25 if you want to get the same size of tentacles that I have. So we're just going to chain 10 just for demonstration. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Maybe 10's not enough. Let's go 15. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So what you're going to do is you are going to single crochet 2 in the second one from the hook. So you're going to single crochet 2. 1 and 2. Then you're going to single crochet 3 in the next one. 1, 2, and 3. Then you're going to go back to single crochet in 2. 1 and 2. Then you're going to go back to single crochet in 3. 1, 2, and 3. So that's what you're going to do. You're going to rotate between 2 and 3. And then they will curl around. 1, 2, and 3, 1 and 2. 1, 2 and 3, and then 1 and 2. And as you can see, our little tentacles are starting to curl up. So that's what you would do. And you would start with 25, and then you would do that all the way up. And then when you got to the top of it, you would just break it off, and then you would tie the 2 strings together. You could do a single crochet at the, you could do a single crochet at the end, and then you could tie the 2 together. So that's how you would get your tentacles. Now to put your tentacles on, you could take a crochet hook, or you could take the needle, whichever one you prefer. Let me see. Usually I put them on with the needle, but I'll try it with the crochet hook today. Take it and pull it through one, and then take it and pull it through the other. And then you could tie your tentacles. One, gentle, because remember this stuff will shed. And then we're going to take these strings and we're going to put them up in the plushie. So then we're going to take, we're just going to put our hook through the plushie. And you put your tentacles wherever you see fit. Let's see, that one is like, little string is not here. Let me want my strings to be a little bit more even than that. So I'm going to cut that one. And then just pull your strings through the plushie. Let's see, pull it through. Sorry if my hand is in the way. I'm trying to show you. Just pull it through. And if it doesn't want to pull through with 2, then you just pull it through with 1. And then you go back and get the other one. Or you can thread them both on the needle and do it that way. And once you get them through, you're just going to tie a gentle knot. 1 and 2. And then let's go with this purple one. And we will put the purple one right here. So I'm going to put the purple one right there. Pull it through. And then I'm just going to tie a knot. Now, if you want to leave these as octopi, you don't have to put tentacles on it. Putting tentacles on them turns them into jellyfish. If you leave them plain, they're just octopi. And then we're going to take this one, and we're going to put one of these on. Let's see. Yep, we're going to put this one on. Let's see. No, let's put this green one on right here. Let's put this green one. Okay, so we just pull it through. Hopefully. I'm sorry if I'm off camera, you guys. You guys get what I'm saying, though. Gentle. Don't forget, pull gentle, especially if you're using Dollar Tree yarn. That stuff is like very, 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 it will break on you. It will break on you. Let's see. Okay, let's put another yellow one. The yellow one, the little string is short, but we're going to put another yellow one on this side over here. So I'll put my little crochet hook through there. I'm going to pull my little yellow, let's see, move that out the way. I'm going to put my yellow over here. I got both of the strings. And I'm going to just tie a knot. 1 and 2. And then I'm going to take this little purple one. This little, let's see, this string is longer on this one. Take this color, and I think I'm going to put it in the middle. Let's see. I think I'm going to try to do this one with my needle. I'm just going to thread this on my needle, so which means I'm going to cut off the one that's a little bit longer. Try to get them both even size and put them on my needle. And then I'm just going to push my needle up through there. Once I get both my little tentacles on there, then I'm going to spread them, and then I am going to tie them gently. And then when I turn it over, I have a jellyfish. You can put a few or as few tentacles or as many tentacles as you like. Now I'm going to get rid of my strings. See, I'm gonna get rid of my strings with my crochet. I mean with my needle. Let's see. It's easier when they're the same size, because then you can feed them onto a large eye needle. Put them both in there at the same time. See, I had another needle over here. Let's see. So here's another large eye needle that I have. So we can see if we can get them both in there at the same time. I got them both in there at the same time. Okay, I'm going to go back down. And then I'm going to take my needle, and then I'm just going to go up inside the plushie's head, and I'm going to pull both of them through, and I am going to cut them, and then they will fall back down in there. Then I'm going to find the next two, and if I can't get them both to go at the same time, I'll do them one by one. But if I can get them both at the same time, if they're both a little bit even, I will do them at the same time. Sometimes it's easier with the plastic needle, and sometimes it's easier with the metal needle. So whichever one works out the best at the time is the one I use. So that one, and then let's go find this other little part of this yellow. We're going to get this little piece of yellow, and we will just stick it up in the plushie and pull it out the other side, and then it wasn't long, so it just fell into the plushie. And then here goes some more yellow ones. Hopefully these will be in the same. We can get them together. And then we will just feed them up through the head of the plushie. And we will pull them so that when we release them, they will both go back inside the head. And then you can continue to shape your head. And then I also have some eyes that I'm going to put on there. So if you you can put eyes on there before you close it up. I don't put safety eyes on any of my stuff. I usually use I normally use eyes that I make with my Cricut. So let's see, for this one I probably would use maybe some blue eyes. I don't think I have any offhand right now. Let's see what I got, what I do have that I can just demonstrate. So then we can continue to shape our little jellyfish. I'm going to do all my little straggly ends. And if you wanted to, you could, you don't have to weave in your straggly ends. You can keep them if you wanted to. I'm not going to keep mine, but you can keep them if you wanted to. So what I would do is then I would get me, I would hot glue. I would hot glue these two. It fell because I don't have no glue on it right now. But that's what I would do. I would hot glue these onto the plushie. So there you go. Hopefully you enjoyed this tutorial. It was a little long, but I just kind of wanted to show you everything I was doing. Hopefully you are able to get and understand what I was doing. So if you have a 22 needle Sentro or a 22 needle Addi machine, you can do the same thing. You probably could do the same thing with the bigger machines as well. I've just never done it with the bigger machine. So yeah, and I was sewing the tentacles together at an event today for church. We have a fire booth stand that our church is manning for the 4th of July as a fundraiser. And so I was just sewing the tentacles at the fundraiser, and somebody commissioned me to make them an octopi, a boy one, for somebody who's having a baby in December. So I'm making money while I'm just sitting around doing my craft. So hopefully you enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you for watching. God bless you. You have an amazing day. Be blessed, my friends. Bye-bye.